recording that and that for after. Like that's how I put the podcast with that.
I don't hear anything.
Well, I do because I hear everything.
I got ringing in my
I pick everything apart. You don't pick everything apart when you're on the boat?
Nope. I go fishing, bro. Like I'm out there fishing. I'm reading what's going on and I'm fishing. That's what I'm doing.
What are you listening to while you're on the
boat? Everything. Birds, fish jumping in the pond.
Yeah, I'm not a music guy when I'm fishing either. Mother Nature, that's it.
I'm focused on nature.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you got to be.
No, like Nickelback?
I mean, I'll listen to music, but that's not my goal when I'm out there.
See, I'm thinking Jesse's on the boat. Nickelback's just slamming.
He's more of a Taylor,
on the
a
way
Taylor
to
Swift
the
guy.
tournaments, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when we're jamming, getting pumped up.
Tay-Tay
when you're on the water, it's quiet. You and nature.
Yep.
Unless you're getting skunked about 12 o'clock, then you crank it up.
Yep. Guns N' Roses, a little bit of something. Yeah, you gotta have something.
Do you have waterproof speakers on them things?
I mean,
I got a JBL, man. I can't afford that stuff.
So let me. Are you Triton? What kind of boat y'all have?
Go ahead, Jess.
Well, I'm currently boatless.
Okay. Sorry, bud.
I can get to a backstory about it all, but let's just say we'll get to that later. I'm currently boatless.
Okay.
What kind of boat did you have?
I started out with a 20-foot Javelin.
Got to bring that mic a little closer, Jesse.
20-foot Javelin Renegade. What I started with.
Ooh, is that one that's got all the sparkles in it?
Oh yeah, they all got sparkles, but
not mine.
Then I had a 18-foot Triton fiberglass with a 115 Yamaha show, and recently I've had a Triton with a 150 on it.
You seem like a Triton guy.
What's wrong with Triton?
No, it's a good boat. I'm just saying, like, now you seem like you have a boat with like flames on it, like it's sparkled out.
Yeah,
like it's
Taylor Swift all across the side.
it's got
in pink.
It's got Joel Davis signature on the back of it. And it's just
100%.
Doing 55.
100%. No, I'm doing 45. No, I've got an Express.
I'm about to hit this commercial, and then we're gonna run this thing, guys. If you don't know anything about bass fishing, you're about to learn everything about it.
Ooh,
everything about it.
What not to do.
Boobies and Blues, September 28th. Ground Zero Biloxi. Get tickets at groundzerobiloxi.com or carterschampions.com. You don't want to miss this event. 2024 Pink Dress Run. October 19th. Sign up at pinkdressrun.com or carterschampions.com. All money raised from our events go to Memorial Hospital Foundation. We've raised over $400,000 to help fight breast cancer right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Come out and have a good time. If you don't want to make it out, donate. There's a link on our website. Go to carterschampions.com or pinkdressrun.com. Can't wait to see you there.
We offer home, auto, commercial, builders, lips, and life insurance.
Oliver's good.
Oliver Shots Insurance.
Jesse, you just gotta be sweet on the show. Like, you should be a nice guy. You should be a nice guy on the show, Jesse.
Oh, dude, I'm nice.
Hold on.
We're back on?
Yeah, we're back on.
Oh, we're live. Huh?
I think we're live. I'm about to learn everything about bass fishing.
No, you're not.
Everything.
He's gonna be so misled.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fun. First thing you want to do is
Right.
you want to get you a Zebco 202. That's probably the best reel out there.
And so, ambassador reel is not good.
A what?
A what?
Ambassador reel.
Oh yeah. That'll work.
I don't know.
No, it's not. I don't know. I think they make a president or something like that. It's a good reel. I don't know. I don't.
Well, I mean, you talk about the Zebcos and stuff. Like back in the day, that's what we all started with.
33, baby.
And I caught more fish back in the day than I do now. I think we've got so like commercialized with everything and wanting the bigger, better things. We've gotten away from our roots, which back then I caught a lot more fish than I do now, trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
Do you feel like were you inspired by Bass Pro Shop? Were y'all inspired by that or no? Were y'all fishing before that?
Bill Dance, baby.
I was a Bill Dance.
I was a huge Bill Dance fan. Yeah.
Hank Parker on Saturday mornings.
Yeah. Wendleton. Oh, I can't think of his name. Wendleton? Is that right? Yeah. Anyways, a lot of them.
Rolla Martin,
Yep.
all those guys.
Rolla Martin. Yeah, for sure.
So what was
Denny
this?
Brower,
Was this the
there's a bunch.
90s, 2000s, 80s?
Are you trying to get into our age here, George?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 40s when I first started fishing.
No, but that was at the Outdoor Channel.
Oh yeah.
It used to be TNN, the Nashville Network, back when I would watch it.
That
locally.
was Hank Parker.
Yeah, Hank Parker.
Yeah, Hank Parker was awesome.
Is there?
Still
I mean,
is.
is there a pretty good career with bass fishing? I mean, I see some of it, some clips, but like I see these young kids that are just like these running these tournaments. They got to be making some money.
Nope. They're not making money. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a very tough sport to make money in, but it is rewarding. You can make money. There is a level you can get to where you're making a lot of money, but it's no different than any other sport. You got a lot of people competing to get there, and the people that do get there, it's a really small field. So
It's all sponsorship driven, then, I
It's-
guess, right?
Well, yes and no. It like the old saying goes, it takes money to make money. What did they used to say? It's if you want to make $1 million in bass fishing, you got to spend $2 million.
yeah, that's what they say.
It's tough, but I mean nowadays though with the youth, there's tons of opportunities with the high school and even junior high, and there's tons of opportunities. There's the BASS locally and all over the
Bass Nation,
they
Bass
have it,
Tactics.
Bass Nation,
Yeah.
Bass Tactics. There's so many opportunities now for high school fishermen to get scholarships to go to a university,
College.
to
yeah.
bass fish, and then from there can go on. Oh man, if they'd had that back, all of us older guys say if they'd have had that back when I was in high school, I'd have took things serious. I'd have been all in that, but it's come along in the last several years to where that opportunity is out there for these young anglers to succeed without having to have the backing and the parents funding, everything.
Well, now it's in high schools.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's high school.
Community too. You don't even have to be in a high school.
When I went to
Fish.
St. Martin, they didn't have a fishing team. Now they do.
Yeah.
Like there was not a fishing team. You just had like Kim Leadtort just come around with a dip in his mouth and talk about fishing.
That's it.
I mean, but it's cool to see that. I so from bass fishing, but we have a big, offshore movement. That's what everybody wants to talk about. It's like, I was out, at the rigs and caught this big tuna. I mean, that's kind of that I always hear. It's always, I got the 34-foot boat. I got a buddy named Trey Cherry. He's got a 34 SV Costa. Before then, he had a 42-foot Freeman. He will stay out, 100 miles away or where he's doing, but I never hear him talk about bass fishing. Is there like a different kind of groups?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing about the Gulf Coast. I mean, we live on the Gulf Coast, Gulf of Mexico. So, I mean, when you think fishing down here, you're thinking anything related saltwater. There's a huge, following of bass fishing down here. There's how many clubs would you say are down here? I mean, over 20.
So when
I
I'm
would think.
scheduling, so I'm a director for the ABA, if you didn't know. When I schedule an event, I'm on somebody, no matter what I do. I mean, every high school's they've got the big tournaments they fish, but they also fish.
Wait, hold up. What you said a abbreviated name is like, what is that?
What do you mean?
ABA.
Oh, ABA?
Yeah.
Oh, American Bass Anglers. That's a national circuit. It's the largest circuit in the country, actually. Got like 55,000 members that fish ABA nationally. And we've got.
It's kind of like the NFA or National Rifle Association, pretty much, right? It's kind of like a chapter.
Yeah, kind of.
You gotta pay dues in?
It's a tournament
Okay.
trail
It-
that has
But-
local chapters throughout the country.
Local divisions is what it is.
How'd you become a director or a board member?
Not a board member, just a director. I fell into it. I started fishing here on the coast probably about 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago, and just everything lined up. And next thing I know, I met the guy who was running the ABA here, and he was selling his house and moving, and he asked me if I'd take it over, and I said sure, not really knowing what I was taking over, and jumped in, and I put my application in, and they did all their stuff on me, and then approved it, and here I am. 3 years.
He's done great with it too. It's
He
from
loves
what
it.
was to where
I
he's
love
at.
fishing.
Yeah.
I love
He's
fishing.
had the time to put in, and it's
I think when I started it, we were averaging 7, 8 people, sometimes 9. On occasion, we'd have a good tournament and have 12, 13, maybe 14 people. Now we're averaging around 20 a tournament. For the AFTs, I also run the team series, and we're averaging around 20 to 22 people that fish that at a time.
Let's just say I watch a TV show, okay, and I just get a wild hair, and I just want to buy me one of those sparkling boats because they are beautiful. Let's be honest. One of the prettiest boats is the bass boat.
Yeah.
If you don't like, because I've seen a bass boat out in the sun. It's a different feel, and they're fast. Javelin, I rode on one of them. Wow. But I mean, I'd own one just because like the Kenny Power movement to me. Let's say I just like, you know what? I got to get me a boat. How does somebody reach out to you or find y'all? Because y'all don't have like an office. Like, how did somebody go out and like you? I can go find I can go to the Quick Mart or some of these fishing marts, but they're mainly driven towards deep sea fishing. Where can we find y'all?
So
there's pages all over Facebook. One of them is the South Mississippi Bass Fishing Tournament, I believe it is.
there's a bunch of them.
There's Facebook pages all, and it's locally driven. I mean,
Social
I
media.
you, if you think you don't know anyone that bass fishes, but if you post it on your personal Facebook and said, "Hey, any bass clubs around here?" I guarantee you, probably 4 or 5 friends that you didn't realize bass fish, or you'd have answers to that question in no time.
Well, I'm pretty sure I could find y'all. I found y'all. Okay?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
For the people that are driving in their car on the way to Ingalls in the morning, there's guys that listen. That's why I was that question for them, because there are people that are like, I need a hobby. Let's be honest. That it's a passion of y'all's, but it's nice to get off of work, drop that boat in the water, hop on that boat, and whether you catch a fish or not that day, it's 2 or 3 hours meditation. It's an escape. I mean, that's what I always thought about fishing. It's just because it's kind of one of those situations where you're not on your phone all the time. You know, you're kind of a meditation of just
alone
a reset.
So it is the official name is South Mississippi Bass Tournament Information.
Okay, guys, where you check out.
That's one of the pages.
You can. So that page is. I think Larry create that page?
I have no
Larry
idea.
Hill, Marion Hill. He's one of our guys down here that does a lot for bass fishing, and he created that page, and it's something. It can go from big tournaments being posted to just a local fundraiser to a fruit jar tournament on Thursday night. All that information in those tournaments are posted on that page. So I mean, if like you're saying, if you're wanting to get into fishing, go try a tournament, look on there. You can find one that may be only a $30 entry fee on a Thursday night. Go try it, see if you like it, see if it's
Just remind me to add that link into the podcast when I air the podcast. I'll put the links in for y'all, and then that way, or you can just DM me and reach out, and I'll send you to Jesse or Joel. So for instance, we got Joel Davis Fishing and Jesse Williams. Where would you want to go on your tournaments? Like, now you have a pretty big tournament down here.
It has grown. It's taken off. Well, I say it's grown. It started out amazing. That's the Casey Seal Memorial. This is the 4th year doing it. Started out, I think we had probably 35, 40 boats the first tournament. I know that don't sound like a lot, but that same weekend we had a tropical storm come through like the night before. So people worried about the weather. The water was messed up. The water was high, debris in the water. Had a lot of boats drop out. So for the circumstances, it actually turned out to be a decent tournament. Since then, we've hit right around the 65 mark. This year, I'm hoping for that plus.
Well, now is that 65 entries?
That's boats.
That's boats. And a lot of people are teamed up.
This is team tournament.
Yeah. So you got a lot more than 65 people. You got
right. If you're counting people fishing, I mean you're 100 plus easy. But when I say team, boats, it's team tournaments. I mean, majority of them are 2 people per boat.
Is this for profit or for a nonprofit?
This goes to. So Casey was a buddy of mine. Grew up with him, worked with him. I say grew up with him. Met him through work. Been friends for a long time, and I was fishing the TBF at the time, and we needed a co-angler. So you got to bring from your club, your local club, you've got to bring as many boaters as you do non-boaters. So we were off. We needed one more non-boater. Casey, he never tournament fished or anything like that. So I was like, I called him up, dude, you want to go fish a tournament with? He's like, what tournament? Oh, about just come on, grab some rod and reels. It'll be fun.
One of the hard-headed friends.
Literally,
it's a hard-headed friend.
No, that's literally how it was. Like, what? Oh, bass tournament. I was like, dude, just come on, man. It'll be fun. We go up there, we'll have some fun. All right. So he ends up. I can't even remember where our first tournament was. I think it was Pickwick. That was TBF. We went up there. We had a good time. Logan Main was with us. We all roomed together, fished. Came back down, but he was hooked. He loved it. He absolutely was hooked on tournament fishing after being up there and seeing it. And so he not only kept fishing TBF stuff, but he also joined BFL stuff. And the picture I've got there with him, the first tournament, he goes back to Pickwick as a co-angler. And this is only like his second or third tournament to fish.
In the frame? Yep.
He goes to Pickwick and wins as a co-angler. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been doing this 15 years.
Put him in the middle. Middle between y'all.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm like, are you serious, dude? I've been doing this 15 years. You've done 3 tournaments. You go up there and you win first place as a co-angler. It's like the guy was addicted, hooked, and I mean it does that.
Absolutely does that. Yeah, it's the competition of it.
It is, and the thirst for more. And I always tell people, I'm in high school, I was a competitive guy. I like to play sports and things like that. Growing up, I just wanted to compete. Well, now that I'm fat and old,
you're not fat. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
So now that I'm I still want to compete. So my thing is, I can fish. I can, I can go eat a buffet
low impact
and still
sport.
go fishing.
Low impact sport.
You know what I mean?
Your wife's super supportive. Gregory says Jesse is the man. But go tell your wife you love her, because my mom's gonna hop on here shortly. Okay.
Hey babe, love you. Greg, he's been awesome there at Captain Al's. He joined forces with us last year. Man, super awesome guy, super helpful guy. He's the guy you need to go to. Him and Stacy, if you're wanting to do a tournament out of Captain Al's. But we really haven't even touched on the tournament a whole lot, have we?
No, we're gonna keep going. We got plenty of time. We're just really just hanging out, having a couple brews. All right. We're hanging out with your boy right here. I think it's cool that you got behind an event for your buddy. I think that's something that that's awesome. Especially like bass fishing. I mean, the cool thing is, me and you met at Captain Al's we met at the bar together.
Yeah, I was waiting to meet with Stacy to talk about the tournament, and you happened to be sitting there. And
did he start talking to you?
We just started talking.
Did he start talking to you? Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That does not seem like Jordan at all. He's so quiet.
I don't want to meet a stranger. I live here. Yeah, check out my Ricky Matthews interview that dropped today. I did an hour on Ricky Matthews. My parents just texted me because I don't like hearing myself. That's one thing is I'll do these clips for us, but I don't want to hear myself.
Yeah.
So when I was doing the Ricky Matthews interview, it's like, what makes you tick? I'm like, I'm from here. This is my home. I love this place. I tried to move out of this place a long time ago, but there's nothing like the coast to me. And when you hear about stuff like you put on an event, that's the stuff that brings people together.
Yeah, it is.
It's tiring. Yeah. Like I do events all the time with Carter's Champions. It's tiring. Get involved that you're not getting paid for. It's rewarding to see it.
It's rewarding. My biggest thing is it's helping. So you asked the question, and I think I've just kept rambling and didn't even get to it. What this fundraiser is for? So Casey he passed away. He was a lineman for Entergy in New Orleans. He lived in Lakeshore, which is Hancock County, but he was traveling over to
like a shutdown style.
No, he was a lineman for Energy Power Company and had an accident at work. And he passed away a few days later. So that's when the first year I decided let's do a benefit tournament to help his family with any costs, things like that. Um, this is year 4, so the last few years we set up his parents, Doug and Michelle. They're amazing people. They set up a scholarship at Pearl River Community College. They have a lineman apprentice program. So the money we've been raising, we select one individual each year to be the recipient of the scholarship for the lineman apprentice program at PRCC.
So my Emily, she teaches there.
Awesome.
So she teaches from home. She does like medical coding and stuff, which I love that school. It's been she's been a Wildcat for a long time, a ruler, but you're moving into that apprentice program, and I'm a firm believer in apprentice work.
Yep.
I think that's cool that y'all are doing that, because that's a good highlight. That's a good scholarship.
And we're hopefully they're not saying that the power companies have not done it in the past, but I mean, just to get that further education on a safety aspect, safety scale, whatever they can do to further their education before they get into that field, we want to contribute to that. And that's what that fund was set up for. And while we're doing that,
with that big hurricane, you can't do anything without a lineman.
Oh,
That's right. That's right.
I'll be honest with you. When we had Zeta, my mast off my house got hit by like my neighbor's tree, ripped it all down. A&G Electric, shout out to Gilbert and them, and they set everything up because it did a great job. But they said, the city was going around, well, there's gonna be a $25 fee and all this stuff. And Abe goes, his partner goes, trust me, Mr. Power's gonna drive through here. They're gonna see my work, and you'll have power. Don't worry about that. I get up. It's like 10 o'clock at night. My power comes on. The truck is sitting out there. Just a couple guys. They're laughing. I mean, they're working hard, but they're having a good time. They're cutting up. And then Gulfport came out the next morning, and the power's already there. He's like, "Who set that up?" I'm like, "I don't know." Allegedly, too. Allegedly a ferry. But that was like a cool thing because without them during a disaster, you're going nowhere.
Yeah, you have. I mean, we live on the coast, like I said. I mean, you have no idea how important and valuable these linemen are. When you go through a situation like that, after a hurricane 2-3 weeks later, when you're without power, what's the greatest day of your life? When that power comes back.
A hot shower.
Well, look, those guys and girls, they're not out there for 2 or 3 weeks to go, let's go fix this one today. They're out there every single day, daylight to dark, and after dark.
We did a week and a half because all that got ripped off. We were a week and a half, and I'm okay with it because I stayed here during Katrina on Lemoyne. My grandma was really hard-headed, and I ended up drinking Keystone and listening to it was Bon Jovi. Me and my brother, we had chainsaws. We cut people out, but it was that kind of, I like the trades. I know that you can't have without having that industry. Can you imagine people without their internet for 2 days?
I don't even know how that, to be honest with you.
No TikTok.
Yeah.
No TikTok.
I'm not a big TikTok guy.
We'll sharpen our fishing skills in those couple days. Huh? Get on the boat, man.
So Doug just said awesome. Yeah.
Yep, that's Casey's dad. Hey, Mr. Doug. I think it's actually his birthday today.
What?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, dude.
Oh, I think you ought to sing.
Pretty sure it was today.
I think you ought to sing.
We don't want to lose viewers.
Go ahead.
I don't need no viewers. Look, we got the right amount right here.
Yeah, just let it go, buddy.
Yeah, it is today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. Doug.
Well, I mean, I think that's what makes the world go around is people like you and you that have hearts. You're not shitty people. So that's kind of cool to me. No, I can tell.
You either, buddy.
Well, but I mean, I tell you, my mom always told me it's like you just have energy of people.
Yeah.
You can sit next to a person and you feel like they're about to stab you. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like
Or
you
you
that
just
day
don't-
you walked
you
up on
just
me on the
can't
bar.
trust 'em.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Howes, he was starting to talk to me. I was
You just
like,
like,
nah. No, I knew immediately you're the same way, man.
I think it's cool though. Like that's just because like most people don't they don't think about that kind of stuff. They don't you put yourself aside.
Oh, hold on, we got Mr. Doug calling. Mr. Doug is calling
Put him on the
right now,
on
Jesse.
speakerphone. Put him on
Put him
speakerphone.
on, Jesse. Put him on.
FaceTime audio.
Uh-oh. Yeah, the camera's over there.
Yeah, you got to turn the camera, but you got to put his
Oh, this is audio.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
got to put the speaker on so he can talk into the mic.
Hello. What's up, Mr. Doug?
We are live, Mr. Doug.
Oh, just sitting here doing this podcast.
Crank it on speaker. Put it on speaker. He's got a speaker right there. Put him in the mic. He's listening. He's watching.
They want me to put you on speakerphone.
Then we had Farabee. Farabee from Mermaids.
Yeah.
Her
I
dad.
saw it.
Her dad called in. That was like one of the coolest things. Or she called her dad.
Yeah. All right. I'll call you when we're out of here. He's breaking up, too.
Uh-oh.
It's on FaceTime audio. That's probably.
Get his cell phone number. We'll call him. It's his birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This has already been a good show.
So
hang on. Let me try that.
Oh, he's gonna put him on speaker. Here we go.
Let's see if he's. Let's try it. It was breaking up a little bit. Go ahead. He said, "Quick story."
Of Casey's lineman scholarship was a kid named Daniel Boone, right?
Yep.
Fitting for Casey to have someone get a scholarship named Daniel Boone. So his father had posted on the Facebook about him receiving the scholarship, and we reached out to him on Messenger, and he said, Mr. Doug, he said, I was behind that procession, and they brought Casey home that day. He said, I was driving a dump truck, and he said, every overpass had linemen, trucks, and flags hanging over him. And he actually videotaped himself blowing his horn saying, this is for you, Casey, this is for you. He said he had no idea who Casey was. He said he kind of knew him in passing, knew him about people that hung around him. But this man was touched by Casey's love, his friendship, his genuineness. And then, almost 4 years later, his son gets Casey's scholarship.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's simply amazing. He sent us the video, right? He was crying on it. He said, I didn't even know the man, but he said, from everything I saw and read, he was just an amazing young man. He said, my heart hurt. And he videotaped that for us, and it's amazing how, almost 4 years later, his son gets a Casey Seal scholarship.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's awesome,
That is
man.
So awesome.
Happy
Wow.
birthday.
Yeah. Happy
Jordan
birthday.
said, and Jordan, everybody's saying happy birthday. They
I'm-
want us. They
I'm
want
crying
us to
over
sing
here.
to you, but we don't want to lose viewers. So.
I ain't worried about it.
The old man's on his exercise bike right now.
Maybe you weren't breaking up. Maybe you were huffing and puffing.
Oh, shit.
All right, Mr. Doug. Well, we go keep talking about it and promoting it, and we are looking forward to November 2nd.
Yep.
Y'all being out there with us.
Tell them how much. Come on.
All right, thanks, sir. Love you. Bye.
That's an awesome story right there.
So
Good to hear
and
that.
that's funny because we had the list of names for scholarship, people for scholarship, and jokingly I told Miss Michelle, I said, Daniel Boone. I said, that's an amazing name. I said, that would be somebody Casey would go, Daniel Boone, heck yeah, that's who we want to have it. And he's actually the one that was selected to get it. And then you hear that story there. I mean, that's just, Casey still, we get little reminders. He talks to us every day and every now and then, and he'll, it's,
Losing a kid.
he was like, what's that?
Like losing a kid?
Oh yeah,
I haven't been there.
I couldn't imagine what they went through, but I mean, all we can do, and that's what I'm trying to do, is support them.
And I appreciate that.
and
I
keep
do.
his memory alive.
Yeah. That hit kind of like, I don't even know what that would feel like.
It's nothing you can even imagine.
Yeah.
Live through it. Hopefully, nobody has to do that.
but
They're very good, very good people, strong people, and like I said, we're just doing this to keep his memory alive.
but that's what you do it for. I mean, you have to.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that was like we're talking about dynamic outdoors. Losing Mr. Doug was tough on me because he's like a dad to me. I didn't ever really get to fish and hunt because he had all of it. I just went to his house and took it. And in trade off, like when he would do business deals, because he always had he had 30 patents, 28, something like that.
Wow.
And but he would just take me because I know computers. So he would just take me to meetings. Like I had to go meet with people just to make sure they're not full of shit. And that's what I would do for them. Sit there and just read them. Okay. And, I did a slideshow. That was tough on me. I had that was an honor, but it was just, It was like, and that's what we're talking about when we recreate Dynamic Outdoors, the show. He's always gonna start it and finish it, always, forever, because he has grandbabies he left behind. His son DJ is like my brother. We know what it's like to have him. There's time I want to give this small little story. Me and DJ played competitive video games when we were 17. We stayed at his had a pool house in the back out there in Latimer, and a hurricane was coming, and it was about 1 a.m. Me and him were still playing video games, and DJ's dad was single. I mean, he was a bachelor, and I remember him running in the room going, "Y'all get off the games, y'all get off the games." And I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Storm's coming," and we turn it off. He goes, "All right, grab both the cameras. Y'all follow me. We're going to chase a storm." I said, "We got to have this for my show." I'm like, all right. It was some experiences that that people cherish, like happy birthday, Doug, Mr. Doug. But that was cool that he wanted to call and tell that story.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it's every day is a new day, but you doing this tournament means the world to him.
I hope so. I mean, it's like I said, it's like I said, to keep his memory alive and honor his family, and B, to help somebody, that wants to go into that same profession, that if they can get that little bit of extra training, that little bit of safety training extra that will prevent any family from having to go through this in the future. That's our goal for this, and why we've designated this scholarship for the money to go to.
It's called, you're very selfless, for sure, Jesse.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not about me.
And also, you've got a lot of support with this tournament. You've got a lot of sponsors too. Some pretty big names out there. You want to list some of those off?
We've had so we do a lot of local sponsors, small business owners, and I know as my wife and her mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, my wife and her mother, they're small business owners. I know what it's like. They know what it's like to get people coming and asking for sponsorships constantly. As a small business owner, that's tough, man. It really is. If you said yes to everyone that was asking you, you'd be out of business in a year.
Yeah.
And it's hard to turn people away, but we've been fortunate and asking a lot of small businesses, local businesses, and they've said yes. Several of them, High Proof Wine and Liquors, they're one of them. They donate every year. That's my wife and mother-in-law's business. Precision Paint and Body, that Shane Lester and Natalie Lester, they've been great. They've donated every year. Allstate, Allstate, Chris Boudreaux, he's a buddy of mine. He's been backbone every year. Eddie Seals Automotive. Several of these small businesses, like I said, that probably get hammered constantly for sponsorships. They've stepped up and have been continuous sponsors. And then the bigger ones like Centerpoint Energy has, Entergy where he worked has, Mississippi Power has, MDR. I'm going to leave a bunch off. I should have made a list, but we've been fortunate. We've been blessed that we've gotten a lot of sponsorships.
And he'll since he left that list, Jesse will post the sponsors in this podcast.
Absolutely.
Just hit it up and share the love with them.
There you go. Your wife's helping you out, buddy. She's got you right.
I mean,
there.
she's a rock star.
She's calling everybody. You're going to have 100 views just from her tomorrow.
No. I mean, I think the big thing is she sees what you're doing. She's living with you.
And I can say this about her. This and Joel, from
gotta
your tournament.
Get a little more angle though.
More angle on your.
Joel knows these tournaments and these trails and stuff like he does. It's not a overnight thing. You don't just say, I'll do it, and next week the tournament. It's almost a year-round thing we're doing. It's looking for sponsorships, venues, which we've been blessed and fortunate to have Stacy and Captain Owls. They've been amazing to have that set there and just lining up music. We do a band, we do, raffles, all kind of stuff. But I mean, it's not just next week's the tournament, we'll get it all lined up in 1 week. It's almost a year-round thing. And my wife,
got to be a planner.
She has been by my side since day one, the first year, and just stepped up to the plate, and I need help, she helps me, and me being gone doing stuff like this, and she's home with the kids. And she's been a soldier, and I appreciate her.
I think everybody. The thing is, I get this like there's so much insurance out here on the coast. There's anybody can be like I'm one of the type of people that I'm like I meet an insurance like tonight. I was with Spencer with his son does jujitsu with my kid, and he's at I think it's Pyron sound right? Pyron Insurance. He's been doing it since 2008.
Is it Luke Pyron?
No, I think it's just Pyron. I think
Pyron.
Yep. And but he was super nice. Me and him talking. I was like, well, I'm in insurance too. And I'm like, and I'm like, dude, there's so much going around. Just let's have fun with it. And he's like, well, if you ever want to, let me know if you want to sell your book. And I'm like, I'm never getting out of insurance because I'm going to fund all my Carter's champions. Like I'm going to take my money and put it into the hospital. And I can see that. Like, we did 400. I know for a fact we've done over 440,000.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
People can't afford. It's all about cancer, like breast cancer. Like I love boobies, guys. I'm just gonna be the first one to tell you this, okay?
Voting for boobies, right? I got
voting for boobies. Shout out to Captain Ellis, but no, all like I love boobies, and I'm glad to vision and stay.
You're welcome to support as many as you want. Huh?
Well, drop October. I think October 7th or 6th. We got our own medical marijuana coming out from Con Life, the Turf Master family over there in Pascagoula. It's a 26% indica. It's called F Cancer, and they're Con Life. It's a small family, the Jordans. Their son John Jordan, his son Jack Jordan, the Ocean Springs baseball player, the pitcher. But the mom and dad, they're not big into medical marijuana, but they created it for their son, and but we got it where it's to a point to help with pain, like and appetite. So something like me, probably not going to smoke all the time, but it was cool to see that and the thing is, we're going to be moving into doing kids cancers and stuff. And I've been in talks with Memorial. Like if you see the new packaging for medical marijuana, it's like rainbow colors. It's, gold for kids, purple, lavender. And that's like cool to have a family out of Pascagoula. That's like, hey, I see y'all helping people.
Yeah.
Let us help.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to see. It's going to happen for you. You did it 4 years. We've been doing ours like 10, 8, 9. But that's how you start seeing people. One thing I tell you, Justin, people are going to start seeing what you're doing, and you're not making it about yourself. You're going to have sponsors come to you. It's easy for me to get sponsors now because they're like, it costs me money every year. I think you're in the same boat I'm in. That's.
Yeah. It's, like I said, we've been blessed and fortunate. I don't think we've asked anyone for a sponsorship, and they've told us no. It's gotten that kind of feedback and just I think the overall positivity that comes off this tournament for the cause is hard to say no to. But like I was telling Joel earlier too, if you're a business owner and I come at you and ask you and you say I'll get back to you later or I don't know, I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to keep coming at you and ask you. I'm going to, when I ask one time, if they say yes, great. If they don't, I'm not going to keep pressuring you to. So, if anybody out there I've asked in the past and didn't come back, it's nothing. I'm just not going to pressure you. I'm not going to be that guy. So, and he feels the same way. I think he said with the ABA.
100%. I don't want them to. The ABA is a little different than the KC Seal tournament, and I'm you had asked me a while back. We met, Jesse and I met, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, something like that. And he asked me if I would be interested in being a part of it. And I said, absolutely. And you probably don't know this, and you probably don't know this. I don't know if you do, but I lost a child as well. I lost my middle daughter, Lily. And so something like this is big to me. I want to give as much as I can. I'll help in any kind of way I can because I know where Doug and Michelle are. I bet my daughter be 13 right now, and 14 years old. And our birthday's coming up. And for me, this is huge. Like I would love to have a legacy like that for my child, but my legacy's in here.
That's right.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty happy about that. So I want to help any way I can, obviously.
Well, I know, you've already, just the first year we met, I really don't even remember how maybe you just reached
Tournament
out
scene,
and
man.
said
I really
something
don't
about
know.
the tournament. You reached out to me, or I reached
I don't
out to
think
you.
I
This is a cool ass podcast.
Yeah, I really don't know if I reached out to you or if we were just. I think we met on the river one day. We got to talk.
and then got to talking something, but you
Yeah.
called me and
I
said,
did.
"Hey, I've got some
got something.
rods
Yep.
I want to donate for the
Yep.
tournament."
I did.
And I was like, "All right," I'd talked to him once or twice, maybe on Facebook or text something,
I don't
and,
even
and
know.
I rolled up, and how long we sit in the parking lot talking? Like
Yeah.
an hour, I think, that just to go pick up some rods from just
It was
Joel
a
guy
while,
that's going to
yeah.
donate to me, and then boom,
Yeah.
hour
Yeah.
conversation later, and we,
Yeah.
been
Now we
talking
text.
every
Yeah.
ever since.
Yeah. Some
But-
people are just, you meet somebody and you just click with them. So, kind of feel like you're kind of like family, like the older, uglier brother I never had.
Says the guy that's sitting on the pillow I gave him because
Hey,
he was too
leave me alone.
short.
I'm short. All right. Hey,
What's your height?
look. Well, it depends on if you look at my TikTok shoes right here. These are TikTok shoes. Give you an extra 3 inches.
3 inches?
$15, baby. Hey, 3 inches is a big deal in height. So yeah, no, I'm short. I'm
Does
like,
it really add? Does it add 3 inches?
No, it's like 1.5 inches per foot, but they like to advertise 3 inches. So
Did you measure it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, hey, look, I'm 1.5 inches taller. Yeah,
This is like a very like I could feel that like it's very like
laid back.
well I'm sorry about your daughter. That
It's okay.
No, but it's things. These are what I was saying. Like y'all coming on the show. This is the podcast. This is it. It's no different than us sitting around just having a conversation.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
That's all
and
it is.
and it's
And they get to watch it. So yeah, hopefully it helps out in the long run. We get more people. We need a big turnout for this, y'all. We really need a lot of people for this tournament.
So the St. Jude Classic, that's been going on down here for
It's been a while.
13 years,
Probably somewhere
14
around
years,
there.
something around there, and that money goes to St. Jude.
they are a good foundation.
It is.
They're
And-
100%.
And what's really awesome about that St. Jude tournament is they don't just donate the money straight to St. Jude. They select a local family that is within the St. Jude chain, and they donate it to that family. So I mean, it's really pretty cool. And if you ever been to one of the tournaments, and they typically try to bring the family or the kids out there, that's been selected, and it's really a cool event. And that's been one of our probably the biggest tournaments on the coast for years. It's been upwards of 100 plus boats. Once again, that's boats, not people. So this Casey Seal tournament being the 4th year, I'm not going to call it out and say it, but I've heard it said and told to me that this is becoming as big as the St. Jude tournament. And it's kind of, we've been doing this in the fall of the year. St. Jude is in the spring. So it's kind of like we got St. Jude in the spring, this in the fall. And if we can kind of keep that pattern and grow them, I mean, the like we were saying earlier, with all the clubs and tournaments and trails going on, high school, there's several, clubs throughout the South Mississippi here. They all come together for these events.
Yep.
We try to select a date where nobody has a tournament and set that date. St. Jude and this tournament, everybody has kind of started respecting that, not scheduling anything, and they all come together and fish it. And the numbers are growing, and it's turning into really an amazing event.
So I look at my stepdad Scott, one of his best friends. Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe's the director of DMR. I'll reach out to him. Yeah, so they're like Mr. Joe's been in most all my events.
I love Mr. Joe.
But they have Mr. Joe has and I can't guarantee, but I'll reach out to him. But they have where they'll donate it's the Gulf Live, the shrimp.
Yep.
They'll donate like a price for like shrimp. So I'll reach out tomorrow. Just remind me. I'll reach out tomorrow and just see if I can get you a sponsorship with them.
Right.
We'll help with food costs.
Mr. Joe loves supporting the coast.
Anybody.
He's one of the.
I'm never going to turn it. If you want to help,
I can make a phone, but I'll make a phone call and just say
absolutely.
I'll just ask my stepdad and he'll reach out to Mr. Joe, and then we'll figure out if we can get some live Gulf shrimp advertising, which that's what Mr. Joe's all about, preserving the Gulf.
Yeah, Department of Marine Resources.
But that will kind of help
Yeah, absolutely.
balance.
Everything would be appreciated. Yeah, everything.
So, how many events have you put on?
Oh, a lot.
Like when did you start getting into that?
So I run the ABAs. We have a tournament almost every month, and I also run the ABA teams, which is 6 tournaments a year. So,
Now, do you have how do you get your sponsors?
fortunately, I walked around I went and talked to a few people here and there, but I'm like him. It's hard for me to ask for anything. I just don't. That's just not my thing. I just like
Ask now on the show. Ask now on the show.
No.
Ask. Tell them hey, reach out to me.
Look, we've got American Bait Works on board, and they're phenomenal. They supply a ton of people in the area, retail shops with a lot of different lures. They've got 5 or 6 different brands: Scum Frog, Net Bait. There's just a bunch of.
How can they find you if they want to reach out and sponsor you? Joel Davis Fishing.
Yeah, you can check out my page.
I'm just trying to plug. I'm trying to let them know. I'm more aggressive, so I'm like, hey.
I'm not that way. I'm not.
We're sitting at
Listen. I appreciate Jordan. I really do. And if somebody does want to support, then reach out by all means. But right now, my focus is not me, and it's not the ABA. Right now, it's the Casey Steele tournament, and for me, that's why I'm here. I want that to be the focus because it's a big deal.
And that right there is kind of absolutely reflecting what I was saying earlier about all these clubs, all these fishermen. They come together for events like this and the St. Jude Classic. So what he's saying right there, and just my ABA, I'm gonna pump the brakes. This ain't about the. That's how the community of bass fishermen are down here. Yeah, it's a tight knit group. Even though I don't fish in the same club as him or him, hey, one of our brothers go down or something happens, we need to be there. Or if we're gonna go raise money for children for St. Jude,
yep,
we're gonna knuckle down. We're gonna do it.
Yep.
And that right there is a prime example of what he was just saying. So.
Do you have a sponsor list? What they get? Do you have a sponsor pack?
Yeah, like different tiers of sponsorships. We do.
Okay, we'll get that situated with that. Yeah, I just like sponsorship. I got so comfortable doing my sponsorships though because they know the cause. I'll tell you right now, I can just go, hey, I know you got a budget. Where are we at? $2,500? I'm like,
yeah.
But me and Spinner, so me and Ivan, we're at Tavi's because Tavi's just opened downtown Gulfport, and me and him were trying.
Oh, what's Tavi's?
It's like Spanish sandwich shop. It's
that's the new one.
Octavio and Shannon. They created Pot Brothers, so it's right there in downtown. It's right across from their Pot Brothers on 49.
Okay.
Across the street, but it's all imported Spanish sandwiches. So really hot. Yeah. It's like a better version of a press, not a roast beef. I don't know. It's roast beef po' boy standards. It's hot press. But I was sitting there with.
I like to eat, son.
I was sitting there with Ivan. Me and him were sitting at a table, and I was like, I need a sponsor, Ivan. We done threw some shit up on the podcast. He goes, all right. But is that direct? Because he knows like where that money goes. Like, for us, you can, write the money to the hospital if you want, you write it to us. But you get to that situation where it's just, it became, when I first started doing it, I was nervous. Like, I'd be like, I don't want to bother a person. I hear you said that. Like, I don't want to bother. Now,
asking for stuff, man.
Now I'm like, man, we got like now we have this machine. It's a cold capsule machine. Like if somebody's going through chemo, we have a machine that they can put a net on their hair and they'll save their hair during their chemo treatments. We have a machine like that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But it's like, it's
what
just.
What do you mean it keeps their hair from falling in?
We have a machine now.
Get out of here!
That's awesome.
Now that's something you need for kids. Like that needs to be the main focus for kids. When a kid loses his hair, like that's the end of the world for a kid.
Yeah.
It works for all.
I know, I get that, but wow, that's amazing. I had no idea they had that kind of.
I think the biggest thing too is my dad's been a car salesman. I grew up around my dad my whole life, and the worst thing anybody can ever tell you is no. Like that's it. They just say no.
So I got the best advice, actually, from one of my wife's coworkers. She said, "The answer is always no, if you don't ask. It's already no.
Yeah.
So you got to ask. However,
You're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So to me, I'm not that guy. If I asked you, I thought about it for a good year. And you know that, Jordan. You know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I thought about it for a long time forever.
We just got to spread out our things. So mine's
Yeah.
my last push is October 19th. It's the pink dress run. That's my finale.
I tried to talk Jesse into wearing a pink dress to this. I just want y'all to know that. He
Oh.
would not. He refused. I sent him some lingerie in the mail, some pink lingerie. Jesse was like, I'm gonna wear that.
Wasn't my size.
But
It was too
you
late.
You don't have
too
to.
tight.
You don't have to, but you're more. But Jesse, you're more than welcome to set up a tent there and a table because it's October 19th and raise awareness. There's a lot of guys that do fish, bass fish. Y'all more than welcome to come set up at Chandelier Brewing.
Is that Chandelier?
Yeah, always been there forever.
I don't know, man.
Cam Robert is my ride
I'm
or die.
learning. I'm learning as I
Do
go.
we look
bro.
like runners?
I am a good runner.
I think the problem
I
is
can
We'll donate
run.
to the cause, but
Yeah,
it won't be
my
by
boat
running.
runs all across the coast, buddy. I don't even slow down.
Well, runner's kid, so I have cerebral palsy. You can kiss my ass, both of y'all. Like I can't run at all. I can feel about 20% of my right foot.
I shattered both my knees, got artificial kneecaps, got permanent staples in both. I'm not a good
Did
runner
you wear
either.
braces growing up in school?
No, I shattered my knees. Yeah, look, I'm not. Look,
Mm.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No, but you're more than welcome for to come out to Chandelier, get a tent, and promote it because there's a lot of last year. I think we had
When is that?
700
October?
runners. No, but the paid runners were 700. Probably had 1,500 people there.
That's awesome.
But here's a rule. The run starts at 11. Registration's at 9. You can get the tickets at pinkdressrun.com. And one thing I'll tell you is, so we just give the big stage to the survivors, and they tell their stories. After that, you have to do the national anthem, something we believe in,
Absolutely.
and then you can run. But most people walk with coolers. It's just literally it's a shit show of people just walking around with
Is it-
coolers.
Oh, you can walk?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, just walk around with a cooler. I get Jello shots. You get all kinds of gifts. I think 4 years ago, because I didn't have the time to really run because I was helping with the event. But during the run, I make it a point that I actually get involved, and I'm walking that event. And they're like, I remember the first time I really walked it, it was like, you're doing this? And I was like, I got noticed. It's like, what? They're like, you're the one that puts it on. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, you want a beer? I'm like, yeah. And then boombox is you'll hear Otis Redding play. Everybody's got their own certain style. Every radio flyer wagon either has some 80s rock or some old school Fat Dominoes or Otis Redding.
And I'm thinking it's just these
sounds like
marathon runners lined up in shape.
There's
You
probably
get there the quickest.
no.
There's
That's what I
probably
was
there's probably
thinking when I
about
heard run. I'm like,
no. There's probably
that sounds like a good bass fishing crowd.
I actually kind of, I've got an ABA scheduled for that day, which really sucks. What time is it at?
from registration 9 a.m. runs at 11 a.m. and then 11 to it's 11 to 4 or 5.
See, that's what we're saying. There's so many events on the coast, so many. You're always going to have a conflict, always.
This event, there's nothing like it.
No, I've been seeing some videos here lately, Jordan, and
There's no. I mean,
it looks like a lot of fun.
no. I mean, it's really just what I love about it is I like the old school when I put on an event, and I do it with a team of friends, my whole board. But it's all about bring your lawn chair. Don't put your ego aside. Nobody cares what you own, who you none of everybody just wants to have a conversation. So it's grab your beer, grab your water. Got turbo water. I'm gonna plug that one, but grab your.
He's pretty good.
But you get a lot people set up with the lawn chairs. One thing I start seeing is these currents that are just now battling cancer. There's probably 80 or 90 survivors there that they can just sit next to and ask, well, how do you feel after a couple of years? Cause a lot of people that are survivors, they have a lot of insecurities. My mom was one.
Y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to no, go ahead. Let's talk about your mom. We'll get back to that.
No.
I'm blown away by all the sponsors she's posting. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
she is. And
she is nailing it. Mississippi Power, Coast Electric, Domino's. We won't say that one. We'll skip that one.
Which one's that?
Crap.
Which one is that?
Taylor I can't read that name there.
Gulf
Taylor.
Coast Mitsubishi.
There you go. There you go.
Coastal Daiquiri Company. That's
Like
good friends of ours. in
Jennifer
Long Beach.
O'Neill Glenn.
They've done a lot for us every year as well.
I mean, she's a hustler.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, no, she's a hustler.
Hey, I'm just wondering where your son's at. I thought he was on the podcast with us.
Oliver? No.
Yeah, man.
No, this is not for.
Oliver was sitting
This
there.
is not for kids. Okay, this is not for kids. I hit the button where it's like no kids. Like this is like
Door's locked.
Oh
Skinamax.
Lord, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, it
no,
is.
it's not.
That's my cue to leave.
Yeah, time to hit. Yeah.
No, but
Let me have that drink, Jordan.
but no, that was a situation where I was like explaining like the same way you had your tournament is similar. Like there's no like serious direction. It's just like be about it, and they'll come.
Yeah.
Like it's Field of Dreams.
So and that's about the Casey Seal tournament. I don't care if you have a John boat with a little 15 tiller handle on
yeah.
it. You can keep the fish alive, go fish, and bring them back there. You're welcome. Now, whereas some of the clubs and ABA and all that, we have boat requirements, things like
Lots
that.
of rules. Yeah.
Now we do take safety very seriously. I mean, there's safety regulations in place, but if you can get out there and you can fish and follow the state and local laws on the water and get the fish back alive and release them alive, you can come fish. I had a buddy, Jake, called me before I got here, and he was like, hey, can we fish off the dock? I'm like, no.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the only thing.
What about a kayak?
I was about to mention that. I had a year or two ago somebody asked about kayaks. As much as I want to say yes as a safety issue, I've got to say no, because if you've got, say we've got,
You could do a late launch.
I don't want to get into a can of worms with it where
Gotcha.
if we've got 50 bass boats out there
Yeah.
with 115s to 250 horsepower motors blasting off, running them up and down the rivers,
Them boats
get
are
and you
fast.
got
Them
you
boats are
got
fast.
10 or 12
Yeah,
kayaks
yeah,
out
yeah.
there. I could see that either A, being a safety issue, or B, kayakers coming in saying this guy blew by me and causing controversy.
Because
So
the bass boats do move faster than a regular boat.
yeah,
They're different.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're a different breed.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Unless
them-
you got mine. I have a boat that's made to go shallow. It's not made for speed.
But there's people that enter it with the javelins.
Oh yeah. We've got some guys out there that are
man.
doing 80, 90 miles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he's talking
Yeah, yeah.
about. Like,
Bass cast,
there's a guy.
Yeah.
There's a
They're
guy on a
like-
kayak, and all of a sudden,
the phoenixes and the bass.
We're gonna launch right here
Yeah.
at Captain Al's, and we're gonna run over to Mobile Bay.
Oh, absolutely. They'll people fishing this
Yep, they'll
tournament.
fish
They'll be fishing
Pascagoula.
North Pascagoula.
Yeah.
Dude,
Pearl River.
got
yeah.
a mullet going on. He's just straight like
Oh, yeah.
70 going.
Oh,
Whoa!
yeah, they're over there with a helmet on.
Yeah,
with a legit
they'll wear
helmet.
helmets.
Yeah, and
everything.
they're flying 80, 90 miles.
If
well,
you
I don't know
if
about
you've
90,
never
but they're doing
Josh Harmon and Greg,
Shout out to Josh Harmon.
they've both been out there for the blast off for this tournament, and if you've never been to one, you need to be there, because it's the sun's coming up and you're like, we're calling out boat numbers. So it's not a shotgun blast. It's not all 60 plus boats just at one time going, Mom. There's absolutely no way on a river wouldn't last long.
Yeah. You got flights.
So we
You
got
do flights.
we call out numbers, and man, to see them lined up and just taking off, blasting off into that sun, it's just, I'm telling you, you come out there, get up early that morning, come experience it one time. It's
What time we're
amazing.
talking?
You got to be there about 5:30.
Safe flight to watch the
Well,
the
if you're not
blast
fishing, are you
offs,
going
I
to
mean.
fish?
No.
Well, for him to watch blast
not?
off, I don't know
Huh?
Why not?
I mean, I'm not into it right now.
No.
Just not.
you're going to be out there to just
No, have fun.
participate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not into it though.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you said that, because
Oh, yeah.
this is not just a fishing tournament. So, say, Joel's out there fishing, but his family wants to come. We're going to have live music that day. We got Captain Al's amazing food. You can go up, eat, come down, listen to the band, buy raffle tickets. We're going to have raffle prizes. I mean, door prizes. We're going to give away all the fishermen that when you enter, you get a token. When you get back to the dock, you turn that in. That way, A, we know you made it back safe, and B, that enters you for a door prize. And there's usually American Bait Works, they donated a ton last year, so we were able to probably almost half of the field got a little goodie bag for door prizes. So I mean, it's a family event. It's not just a fishing tournament. If you've never seen a live weigh-in for a bass fishing tournament, I mean, come experience that. Come watch them weigh the fish in, and we'll have announcers there. Like I said, live music is going to be a good time. It's not just a fishing tournament.
So I've been doing the Croker Classic for years. Still not fishing,
I have fished the Croker Classic. That is a lot of fun.
but I've been a part of putting it on with me and Marty and our team. But yeah, I'm just not ready. Like I think I was telling you about my grandparents having the catfish pond and me growing up in Latimer, and it was a chore of weighing the fish and feeding the fish. You start feeding fish the way we were feeding fish, and that just and then when I dated a girl named Rebecca, her stepdad had chum churn, and I made all the chum churns for like years and sold in the academy, so I'd make them by hand. So I made it.
What now?
Chum churn. It was
The bucket you chum up.
I have no idea. I'm a bass fisherman.
but I know, but I'm just saying it's all in the fishing world. It's all fishing world. So no, I'm just not. I mean, like Butler and Cam always make fun of me because I'm like they always wanted to go fishing with them, and it's just not my thing right now. One day it will be.
Well, I'm speaking to your mic, Jordan. I invite you to go fishing with me, Jordan. Me and you and your boy. We'll go out there.
Down.
We'll have a good time.
He's a fish. I'll sit there and listen to music and drink some beer.
Well, whatever.
I would
Hey,
I would say this too. You're doing it right. A lot of people, they've grown up bass fishing in farm ponds and lakes and stuff like that. Don't go out there and spend $50,000 on a bass boat and another $10,000 in gear and tackle, and then say, I'm going to be a tournament fisher. You will get humbled in a heartbeat, and you will get frustrated in a heartbeat. Do something like, if you were interested or wanted to get started in it, get with a buddy or somebody like Joel that's got a boat. Take me, let me learn, see what's going on with it.
Y'all don't call me though. I got a pretty big schedule.
I'm gonna post Joel's
give you
number
Jesse's
on
number.
here. He is
Yeah.
But I did fish a lot when I was younger.
But it's easy to jump into and get overwhelmed or.
So if I'm not mistaken, Doug Seal is running for mayor of Bay St. Louis. Is that correct? I believe I read that.
Can he come on?
Doug Seal is running for mayor. I'm 95% positive I read that this week. I've been studying up on Mr. Seal.
I want him to come on before because of him calling in and making me cry.
Yeah.
That's a real dude. That's a real person.
100%.
He was crying when he's talking.
Look, everything I've read about Doug has been just phenomenal. He's been in service for 30 years. I believe I read. What's the Casey Seal slogan? It's on your shirt right there. If I'm not
LLC,
mistaken.
live like Casey did.
Yeah, LLC, live like Casey did. That's awesome. That was, I believe, his wife came up with that, Miss Michelle. But anyways, I say that because I have recently met the Bay St. Louis Parks and Recs director. I guess he's a director, and he was last year. We were talking late last year, early this year, talking about doing a big tournament over in Bay St. Louis. They own the Bayou LaCroix ramp there in Bay St. Louis, and he's wanting to do some kind of tournament to kind of build Bay St. Louis. So do something over there and launch over there, do a kids tournament, do a kayak tournament, something like that. There's an opportunity there, and I think Doug's probably got enough connections. We could probably make something nice happen.
You don't have to have the same. You can have a couple different seal tournaments a year.
We could.
Or, I mean, you can even direct
straight kayak
we
tournament.
did last couple of years, Sawyer Scarborough tournament we did.
Yep.
That was it was a young child in the Hancock County area that unfortunate drowning accident.
Yes,
we did a tournament. I say there was some other people behind the scenes that they did it, and I was the tournament director for that. And it was, they wanted to know, what can we do? Can we do a bass tournament? First year we did a bass tournament as well as a bluegill tournament for kids.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
It was awesome. The second year.
Wait a minute, you said bluegill? Is that like you gave him bush lights or what?
No,
bluegill's a fish, man.
Okay.
But
that's a weird tournament.
The second year we went, it grew so big it had to be hosted at Hancock County Civic Center, and it was Obviously we couldn't do a live bass tournament then, but it was an amazing event. So I mean, we could absolutely do something. It don't even have to be a bass tournament.
So he
if you want
talked
to get kids involved.
Yeah.
Like
So
that,
the way we
bluegill.
talked about it was maybe do a bass tournament as one group, a bluegill and crappie tournament as a second group, maybe even do speckled trout and redfish, something like that. Something to bring all different age groups together and all different types of anglers together. And, I'd be on board with that 100%. I mean,
I love seeing that they rebuilt that ramp.
Are we planning a tournament right now?
Oh no, we might be.
You never know.
We might be. Look,
snap.
Mr. Doug, give us a holler.
Calendar. But
Well,
that
I'm just-
ramp over there at Bayou LaCroix, that's amazing. And
It is a
I
great
grew up fishing Jordan River a lot, so I mean, I love seeing that. And
Oh yeah. When I'm
access to
fishing
that.
Jordan River, I know who to call. That guy. That's his river.
no,
That's
man.
his river. I already know that. Yeah.
Are we dropping a new tournament right now?
I mean, I'm just putting it out there saying that I think we got two people here that are experienced with doing tournaments. I think we could do something over there, and if it benefits kids, first off,
I would say if we're going to do another,
there's a
big
lot of
tournament,
planning in that.
Let's do something directed toward kids and getting them out there and
I'd be on board.
experiencing fishing and
So I'm looking right at the camera right now. So if y'all are interested in something like that, shoot a comment in here. Say something. Let us know, because we don't want to it's a lot of time, money, effort. And we're volunteers. We don't do this for pay.
But also, real quick though, if they'd said it's kid tournament, this is like Crow Classic, how we look at the kid tournament. That means this is going to be focused on kids. So, and a grown man can enter
100%.
but do not act a fool in front of kids. This is one of my biggest rules about Crow Classic is when a kid's excited about something and you're trying to compete with the kid, you need to just disqualify yourself and go somewhere else.
You want to argue and cause a scene because you lost by 0.01 ounces to a 6-year-old. Come on, really?
That's my biggest thing every year for the croaker. Is I handle that part.
Yeah.
Because that's something that me and Marty talk about. It's for kids, so it's like, hey, we'll go do the billfish.
Yeah, really.
Go.
Yeah.
Go hang out. Go do the billfish. Like, if you're trying to compete with a child, you got some issues.
I agree 100%. But I think it's cool because it gives, there's not a lot of father-daughter things on the coast. There's just not. It's hard to do that kind of thing. I've got daughters. I've got 2 daughters. That's why I bring that up. And that's an opportunity for a grandfather and a niece or nephew or granddaughter or whatever. And, I think we ought to look at doing something like that. And if
Mr. Doug just texted and said we can make this happen.
That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Doug.
Look, hey,
let's do
have
this.
a tournament schedule before we get off this thing tonight.
Yeah. And you know what? We do it in a comfortable time of year. We got time to plan something like this. I'm on board 100%. Let's do it.
We're planning it right now.
Apparently we are.
This is a live show where we got input from feedback.
It's live.
It's live right now.
Thank you, Mr. Doug. I have not. I'm gonna be transparent here. I did not know Casey Seal. I did a ton of research on this guy. For the past 2 years, I've been reading up. It's amazing. Google Casey Seal one time and see how many articles come up about the seals and who they are as people. It's amazing to see. It's pages on Google. I'm not lying to you. I've read all of them too.
He was one of those guys I've said this from day one. If you didn't like Casey, you were the problem.
Yeah. 100%.
If you didn't like Casey, you were the problem.
Yeah. And I've heard that a lot. And listen, I didn't know if it was Casey or Case. I don't know. I've never met the guy. I can tell right now.
Funny thing about that, say Casey, Case. So my wife's name is Sherry.
Oh.
But it's spelled Sharie. So
Cherie.
Everybody reads it and says Cherie. Casey would call her first time he met her. What's up, Cherie? She will
stab you
before you get it off your tongue saying Cherie. She'll correct you and say it's Sherry. He was the only person that has ever been allowed to call her Cherie. I don't know why. It's just that was their thing, and it was Cherie.
Should we make Cherie merch?
Oh,
Like,
Look, I got stuff. You got stuff.
like
I saw
high proof liquor, Cherie shirts. She gets her liquor store. We plug her liquor store if you need liquor. High proof. We can do high proof Cherie store.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
And spell it like Cherie.
I like that.
Started from this podcast with Casey. That'd be great.
I mean,
I think we got something working here. Yeah.
Cherie.
I mean, Casey's right here with us. He's in the middle.
Casey's right here.
So,
So
you know another funny story. You know the part on the Christmas Story where they have the blowout and the dad's like, blowout. He's like, I mean, he jumps out and he goes over there. So we were coming back from Pickwick that first trip, and we had it was a shit show. We get to Hattiesburg, and I'm like, no, we were just north of Hattiesburg, and I'm like, feeling a wobble. I'm like, dude, we about to have a blowout. He's sound asleep over here. I'm like, pow, we have a blowout. And as soon as that tire blew out, he was dead asleep. He jumps up, he went, blowout. I don't know if he was doing that like because of the movie or if it was just coincidental. But that every time I see that movie, I think of that blowout. That timing. And he went out there and he's on the side of the interstate, 18-wheelers passing. He changed his tires. Goes, how quick did I do it? I was like, wow, we're 2 laps down. Let's go. So we get all the way to Hattiesburg. We got to stop and get gas. And I pull into Stuckey's right there, going south. I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I see the front of my boat up like this. And I'm like, something don't look right. I'm like, Casey, he's asleep. I'm like, damn it. So I get out and I go to get gas, and my it wasn't my axle, but a support bracket on the back of my boat had broke. So my boat's sitting like this, and the only thing that's holding it is the safety chain.
Oh, the strap. At least you had that.
And I'm like, this far from dragging the road. I've come down. You know how Mississippi roads are. It's just bam, bam, bam.
And you're on your way back from Pickwick.
Yeah.
So it's
like 11:30, 12:30 in the morning. We're miserable. He's asleep. I'm like, dude, I got a buddy Logan that lives probably hour 15 minutes from there, closest one. I'm like, you've got to stay awake and help me watch. I was like, I'm trying to drive, watch, make sure you don't see sparks. We're dragging something. The boat flies off, So he's like, all right, dude, I got you. 5 minutes in after me having this conversation with him, I look, sound asleep. I'm like, long story short,
wingman.
What
a wingman.
Did Casey leave kids behind?
Yes.
His family?
Declan and
Aniston. His fiance at the time, or he was on the verge of proposing.
Yep.
Things happened, but he did, and their family's fortunate, blessed. She's since remarried, and the guy she's with is taking really good care of Casey's son, treats him, like his own. So I mean, he's very blessed and fortunate. That whole family is there. They're all great people, man. That whole family is just. You'll have to meet them to understand how amazing they are.
I'll meet them at the event. I'm gonna be there.
To do that. Yeah, we need to look. I've never met Mr. Doug or Miss Michelle. I've never met them. Yeah. I did read about Declan. Declan was 22 months old when Casey passed. A little bit about Casey too that you guys might not know. And I've read all this because it, like I said, it hits me right here because of where I'm at and what my history is. But Casey, when he passed away, he gave his organs. Like he gave as many organs as they needed. They took 3 days. He was in the hospital for 3 days, and there was nothing they could do. And Casey, in his final act on this earth, was to give his organs, and that's huge.
He was a donor, that was a big It was
what a giving person. Yeah.
It was a really emotional. If you watch the ceremony on Facebook or whatever it was really emotional. But like you said, that's who they are. That's how he was. Shirt off.
It's a family thing.
Shirt off his back, man. We give it to you, and you're right. His whole family's the same way. I mean, they're great people. So
I just didn't go into because I told you I don't like keynotes. So if you're gonna come on my show,
what's a keynote? Like
people bring. Sometimes I've had a couple people. I'm not gonna name their names, but they brought keynotes. Like this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, no. I want to get to know y'all in the conversation. Yeah. Or there's no point in doing this.
Real.
Yeah. Wait. So are we doing this wrong, or is this what you want?
No. But no. So I have people that do like a PowerPoint, like keynote. This is what we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
I ain't worried about that.
But so me, when I was telling you, like, I want to know more and get in this, I want to hear from y'all's mouth.
Yeah.
And that makes it a whole different experience because you're able to tell your story that I've never heard. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's like these people that, like, I'm telling you, a dude's going to drive, like, he's going to Ingles, driving his car, and he's going to listen to this, and it's going to move him to get a part of this.
Yeah.
There's people out there. I mean, telling you, that's one thing I'm very blessed to have, this underground radio.
Yeah.
And like that's it. Like I don't watch sports. I mean,
you know, I was a big sports guy. I watched everything. Baseball, I watched football, I loved it all. And then I started fishing. That was the end of that.
It will
And
take over a lot.
The whole kneeling and all that kind of stuff, I was like, I'll be honest, I have not watched one single NFL game since the whole kneeling thing started. That's it. Like, I mean it. When I say I'm done with something, I'm done.
I've watched some highlights.
If I ever tell you, like, we're done, we're done. Like, there's no going back.
Serious, Joel. What's wrong?
Yeah.
I got scared the way you said
While
that,
we're
man.
thinking about this, I'm looking at his hat right here. He's got largemouth bass on there. It's a BB hat.
What's
And
that on?
Zach Rushing, huge social media guy, very cool guy.
So are you though? Let's talk about like your social. Yeah.
No.
They've been
No.
big sponsors.
We're talking about Zach.
You've had
Rushing.
2 million views on one video.
I've had a few videos that have got millions of views. He's had hundreds, probably. I don't know. Very cool guy. He does a ton with veterans and kids and cancer patients and survivors. 3-time cancer survivor and all that. Anyways, Zach, if you're listening and you want to help out, you know, I know Jesse's not going to reach out to you, but
Well, they have helped the first 2 years. They helped out tremendously.
Thank
It
you.
was greatly
Thank you for that.
appreciated.
That's plenty. That's plenty. If they did that,
Last
that's good.
year, his mom, amazing, awesome person.
She really is,
Fireball out of this world.
Yeah.
She was a contact I had for them, and I think she was having a surgery or had some medical issues going on or something like that. And
Yeah, she did. She sure did. Yep.
I didn't reach back out to them, kind of out of a respect thing. I didn't want to keep harping on it like I told you earlier. So, I mean, the only reason they weren't a part of this last year is because I didn't pursue it and things going on with them, that I didn't feel comfortable
100%.
continuing to annoy somebody.
Right.
Yeah, but sometimes you're not annoying anybody when
look,
you're.
I ain't saying, hey, come sponsor. I'm saying thank you for what you have done. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm grateful.
And that goes out to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had Cedar Swamp, Nelson's probably, if I had to guess. You had Wicked Fish. You had, there's a lot of them out there. And by the way, Triple B Outdoors is coming. I'm personally excited about that because I know how big that 20,000 square feet is a huge building.
I mean, is it Gaucher? It's going to be.
No.
The Arrows right there by
Right there in
Astro
D'Iberville.
Ford.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
It's right across from Astro Ford.
Right, and that's just another avenue. Obviously, we want to support all of them, everyone, obviously. And if y'all want to help out, Jesse's the guy to call. Help him out.
I mean, it comes down to figuring out, like, so as long as they see what you're doing, Jesse,
yeah.
then they want to get it behind
I
you.
can tell you. So this year, we've selected one recipient for the scholarship.
But how do you select that?
It's kind of a random draw.
It is a random draw. So you're telling me that story with Daniel, with Mr.
Random
Boone,
draw
was random?
draw.
That was not
Daniel-
random, Lord.
Daniel-
that was
Daniel
upstairs
Boone.
right
I'm
there.
telling you. So,
I'm telling you, that was the Lord
but
working
what
right there.
what I would love to see is to get. It's not a ton of people that put in for the scholarship. It's I think there was maybe 3 and then 5, 6, something like that.
That's awesome.
I want to see to where 12, 15 kids put in for the scholarship.
Yeah.
And we can give 12, 15 kids a
Oh,
scholarship.
yeah. That would be
That's
awesome.
what I want to see.
Yeah.
I think the problem that we have to do is like that green screen over there. It's going to get you on there and talk about it, and then make clips of it, and then get people to apply. Because like a lot of people don't know that's there.
And it's growing.
Well, that's why we're here.
Like I said, it's so far it's been word of mouth.
Yep.
By myself, my wife, Mr. Doug, and Miss Michelle.
Things like this. Yeah.
And then, Joel's gotten involved. Other people, Murky Waters Bassmasters, it's a
Murky
local
Waters,
club
yep.
around here, and they help out tremendously.
Yeah, Marion Hill
that's
for
Larry.
Larry. Y'all call him Larry.
Larry.
I call him Marion. I don't know him that well.
Larry's he's the president of
Yep.
Murky
Murky
Waters
Waters.
Bassmaster. Started
Marion
that
from
club.
St. Martin.
Yeah, Mary Hill.
Probably, yeah.
He's a good person.
So he's
No, he really is a good person. I'm not
He
sure.
is, he is.
Murky Waters Bassmaster,
Yeah.
but there's probably 25, 30 members now, and
I think they got
come out every year.
Yep.
Members of this club come out and donate their time and
Yep.
spend their time to give people parking passes that morning, check live wells, make sure their safety gear's in check, help set up. They donate their scales and their, that club's been a tremendous help to this tournament. Because I've been a club since it was founded, a club member since it was founded. I appreciate the heck out of those guys. They're awesome. So, I mean, sorry I've waited this long to plug y'all, but
no, that's good. It's good.
Larry, thank
you, Larry.
No, plug it away.
Yeah.
No.
And Josh Harmon too. Last year, I know Josh was a big part of it. Year before
last, he come out and did some the first 2 years.
Yeah, Josh. If you don't know who Josh Harmon is, Fish in the South. He's got a huge following. Definitely check him out. I know Sea to Swamp has helped out some in the past. They're great people. I mean, they just are. Caitlin and Rocky, very good people.
If you're shopping anywhere, if you're in the Gulfport
They're in Gulfport
area, if you're in the Gulfport area and you're going to Academy,
they got a little bit of everything.
Does Marcus jump in and help?
Marcus. So, I have never met Mark. I've met Marcus one time, and that was at Sea to Swamp. No. Very, very cool dude.
So we're all from St. Martin. So
I'm not. I'm
the
from
Hill
Wisconsin.
And Marcus, we're all St. Martin.
Okay.
So me and Marcus were in the same grade together.
Oh, he's comical, man. I love his videos.
I've met him at I think the meet and greet at Sea to Swamp and Goshen.
Yeah.
But as far as the tournament, it was Josh and I can't remember.
I don't
Nate,
think
they wasn't
Nathan
here.
Goldrich.
They wasn't here this past year. They were here the 2 years before that. But
so you had Nathan Goldrich.
They actually they're big into the Sheephead Showdown. So they go do that. And last year,
the Brown Water guys.
Brown Water guys. Yeah.
It was
fuck Joey and
conflicting
Jared.
dates. It was
No,
conflicting dates.
No, they're good. We're
Look, I reached out to Brown Water and I asked them, "You guys interested in sponsoring the ABA?" I got immediate reply. Yes, definitely. What do you want? Immediate response.
because they're good people.
They are good people. I'm very good people, and I can text them, and he replies immediately.
Is it Jared or Joey? Which one?
Both. I mean, they're both.
But which
good.
one do you like more?
I like them both.
No, you got to pick one.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, but
I'll say this. It's funny because I grew up with people just like Jared and Joey, exactly the same, except they were brothers. Chris?
No, Jared and Joey have always been brothers. Like since we're growing up, like we grew up in the same neighborhood. Me and Joey grew up in the same neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Jared's better looking. Like Joey's just.
I don't know about all that.
Joey's just more determined.
So I like them both.
Look at Jared's face.
Jared reminds me of a buddy, one of my best friends growing up.
Could be a model. Could be a model. I'm just saying. No, so guys, I'm from St. Martin, Latimer, Cedar Grove, my grandparents. These are a lot of my friends. These are people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Me and Jared, we talk a lot. Joey, not so much. I love you, Joey.
Oh yeah, Joey's. So I talk to Joey more than I talk to Jared.
Well, I talk to Jared. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not on that level.
No, but it's just like Jared's the one that told. Like Jared's.
I think they're both great people, and look, they jumped on and sponsored immediately. By the way, Oliver Scott needs to jump on and sponsor ABA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, give me some more details.
Well, I'll give you everything you want to know, buddy.
And then we got Then we have.
But I'm not asking for cash sponsorships or anything like that. Look, my goal, just so we're clear, my goal on the Gulf Coast is to grow the sport of bass fishing. Not to get sponsorship money, not to get dollars or anything like that. I want to give stuff away to promote business. If I help you, you help me, that kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for. And money is nothing. That's not the goal. It's never been the goal.
We're gonna bass fish.
Yeah.
Whether we have sponsorship or not.
That's right, 100%.
But if we can help you and you help us,
American Bait Works, y'all. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh man,
they have been.
Walt
is probably the most. Well, all of them though. You know, you got Raylan up there.
Are they local or no?
Yeah. They're in Goshen.
Really?
Dude, they manufacture for all kind of people. I'm not going to go into any details because I don't know if I can, and I'm not their spokesman, so we're clear.
Just go in some details.
No, I can't go in.
Fuck this. Go
I
in
have
the
been
details.
all over their factory. It is amazing. They've got CNCs. They've got plastic and extrusions. What do you call it when you inject plastic into? Anyway,
Yeah,
they got it
those
all.
things.
Yeah. It's a multi-million-dollar facility. It's crazy the kind of money they got in that. And Walt is probably the most generous person. He might be the most generous person I've ever met in my life. He gives a ton of stuff to everything that he can. And it's not him, it's American Bait Works, obviously. It's the whole group. And, so I'm happy with that. I'm not going to lie. I'm happy to have a company like that on board with ABA. And, they have given a ton to Casey Seal, too.
Absolutely.
Last year, I had people calling me going, dude, thank you. And I'm like, don't thank me. I'm not ABW. ABW is American Bait Works. I'm not them. They choose to support us.
Frogs. We got.
Yeah.
You gave us some rods.
I gave some rods. Y'all gave some rods.
Yeah. And
This is cool as shit.
What's awesome too, though, about that, usually when they'll donate something, a lot of times they'll donate stuff that hasn't hit the market yet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like test stuff.
Yeah.
Like we were getting baits last year, and I'm like,
these aren't out.
I'm not donating.
Yes,
Obviously I didn't, but I'm like, there's stuff you're looking at.
Y'all keep going. I got to take a piss.
I'm like, man,
we got you, Jordan. We're gonna run. So we're taking over the podcast here, Jordan. Yeah. So they do. So I'm gonna give a plug out here too, because they got a ton of new products that just came out. I mean, crazy stuff. Go-To Shrimp, that's been out for a little bit. They got the Go-To Minnow. I really don't want to tell this.
I heard you talking about
I don't really want to tell this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it right now. So I had an ABA tournament last weekend, and dadgummit, I know a bunch of bass guys are watching this probably. I won the tournament throwing the Go-To minnow. And what I was doing, I was taking that minnow, and it's got the perfect. They got a shag color, they got a blueback herring color, they got a gold and black color.
Just like a soft plastic.
It's a saltwater swim bait, is what it is, and it's a 4-inch. So I would take it and clip about a half inch off the head, and I put it on a 1/4 ounce Freedom Tackle jig head. And it's a Freedom Tackle jig head has a really good keeper on it, so you can slide that thing up there, don't go nowhere. And man, I can't believe I'm telling this.
Hey, look.
So Jesse,
alcohol. I know
Jesse, yeah.
Next tournament he wins, I'm going to be like, hey, want to come have a drink, Joe?
Yeah. So what is this?
There we go. The flyer.
If you're gonna fish this tournament, you're gonna want to know about this.
Hey man, it's like you paid him to interrupt this. He's giving us secret baits as the
I'm just gonna say,
fourth annual Casey Seal Bass
that was probably
tournament.
the fastest pee I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like a horse.
Yeah. So, anyways, I take this GO2 mullet, and it's called the Go-To mullet, and put a 1/4 ounce jig head on it. And I put it on an 8.3-to-1 reel, and a Halo HFX rod is what I was throwing. And if you don't know about that rod, it's a 7-foot rod. You can get 7'3",
awesome
7
rods.
foot. Yeah,
awesome
really good rods,
especially for the price, the quality.
Yeah.
For the price, you're not going to beat a Halo rod.
I 100% agree. Now, if you're wanting a basic rod, the Rave 3 is a great rod, starter rod. If you want a good rod, get the HFX. Great. It's probably the best rod I've ever used. Anyways, so the nice thing about it is it just has a really good casting distance. I don't know how you can put next to nothing on there and you cast it, 300 yards or whatever. Not really, but
I was about to say, you cast 300 yards. I'd like to see that.
No, I don't. But anyways, you burn that thing really fast, and when you burn it really fast, it makes a really unusual plopping sound as it's coming through just underneath the surface. It's like a whopper plopper, but
it's almost like a walking bait.
What is a whopper plopper?
No, not a walking bait, but
you don't know what a whopper plopper is?
No, dude, I play video games.
Oh man,
no,
we'll be here all night if we start next.
Yeah, I don't know this shit.
Whopper plopper.
Chatterbait.
Yeah.
No.
You know what a chatterbait?
No.
Oh,
No.
son.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Kind of like a weight bait, though. It stays just below.
It stays
the surface.
just below the surface, and it
like
makes
a
a
weight
whopper
bait,
plopper sound when you burn it. I finished 4th in the tournament. I caught a 3.5 weighted in. I missed the 3.5 that I caught hooked up with got to the boat, and I was stupid. I rushed it and pulled it out
So
of its
how
mouth.
did you?
I would have won. I wouldn't have won, but I would have won. I would have finished second.
Obviously, that bait's not
It's just come out.
intended to do that.
It's not.
I'm feeling like you maybe cast into a bush and started reeling real fast.
That's
and
what I'm
hit it,
thinking,
and then
too.
You started burning it. I feel like you accidentally figured that out. You didn't say, "Let me burn
No.
this thing."
I did not accidentally figure it out.
I'm just
I've got
messing with
friends
you.
at
I'm messing
American
with
Bait
you, man.
Works.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah. So I'm telling y'all right now, it's the juice. I'm not lying to you.
You keep saying terms like food, though. I'm like, what the hell? You call it a Whopper? Right?
Whopper popper. Man.
He's over here at Burger King. And no, I'm telling y'all, 1/4 ounce jig head, Freedom Tackle's got a great one. It's the same color. You can burn it underneath the surface. It makes a really good plopping noise. And for whatever reason, them fish hit it. And you need to throw it. You're going to catch a lot more fish. And not only more fish, you're going to catch bigger fish. And I'm just telling y'all.
That's awesome.
I finished fourth in that
cool
tournament.
About down here,
Yeah.
Jordan, and I'm pointing at you and directing this at you, is as a bass fisherman down here on the coast, these are tidal waters. So a lot of these saltwater baits
transfer over. Yep.
You can use them and you catch bass on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
You'll throw a old school
shrimp.
I'm just going to say DOA.
DOA
that's the original,
shrimp.
but a DOA
A
shrimp.
voodoo shrimp. I'm
Like
sponsored
in the
by Voodoo,
fall,
by the way.
That's what
Yeah.
people use. Like 95% of the fishermen down here have
In the winter,
DOAs.
in the winter.
Bass fishermen have DOAs in their boat in the fall and the winter.
DOA and voodoo shrimp.
Yep.
You cannot. So it just depends on the conditions, right?
It
I mean,
does,
if it's
it does.
sunny and
Water
there's no
temperature,
wind, and you're
it's-
popping across the top of the DOA, you might get hit. You might not. Those fish are deep. They're on the bottom. And this is the kind of thing about bass fishing that is different than any other type of fishing. You got to learn all those little details, and you got to perfect them. And it may be, okay, I'm throwing a 3/8 ounce. It's really, they want a 1/4 ounce because 1/4 ounce,
and they're also
drops a little different.
bass are
Extremely.
all the waters
Yeah,
we
yeah.
fish down here are tidal.
Yeah.
So if you've got, it's just like speckled trout, redfish, whatever. They feed based on the tides, but then you got to also throw in is it sunny? Is it windy? What's the water temperature? Is it cloudy? Is it raining? I mean, it's
so
a
many
huge
conditions.
puzzle.
Yeah.
I've been tournament fishing
That's
probably.
what gets you addicted.
Yeah, I've probably been tournament fishing 15 years. I've won a bunch of local tournaments and stuff like that. But I mean,
He's a hammer.
it's. I've not won like the big. I finished 8th in the St. Jude Classic this year. That was like
That's pretty
my
good.
achievement. Woo, woo.
That's,
Yeah.
how many people?
But, like,
65, 70.
yeah,
Dude, that's a lot.
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
but I
great
mean,
finish. Jesse's a hammer. Don't let him lie to you.
no, we've got hammers down here, and I could
Jesse
sit
is
here
a
and name
hammer.
them to you. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
we
even-
got a lot of hammers. Ralph
not
Dunn,
even
we
in
got
the-
Alan Holtz, we got
Ronnie Flowers.
Ronnie Flowers. Love Ronnie. Look,
Oh.
out of all the people I've met, Ronnie Flowers is probably, and I'm sorry, Ronnie, I'm calling you out.
Who's that?
Ronnie Flowers.
local hammer.
I mean, that guy.
Is it because of this? I don't know which. Like,
No, local
okay.
hammer means
Hammer
you catch
means
'em.
he-
Okay.
he's
Like,
gonna
Jesus
win.
Christ.
If he's in, he's winning. So, or he's going to be up at the top 3. Ronnie Flowers, Alan Holtz too, for that matter. Alan Holtz has fished a lot of big. He fishes the Toyotas right now. Those are the guys that when you see them enter a tournament, I hear as a director, oh man, can I have my money back? They don't want
That's also the
because
ones
those
when,
guys are so good. But
when they enter and you finish 15th and they finish 16th, you're like,
yeah,
that's a win for me, baby. That's a win for me.
That's right. So I finished 4th. Alan Holtz didn't weigh his 2 fish in. He didn't catch fish, but he didn't weigh in, so he zeroed. And I'm like,
that's a win.
So is that
Look,
it's that
but I-
tedious? Is that serious?
that guy
Oh,
is
man.
way better than I
It
am.
is that serious, but it's
Yeah.
also it's a respect.
But a half pound throws off everything, right?
A quarter pound.
is,
Pound.
half
is-
pound's
Quar-
huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
We're
talking
talking
ounces.
tenths and
Yeah,
stuff here.
tenths. Yeah.
I mean,
I know, but like if you got one that was like, if you're like, this is the goat, and then somebody comes in at like almost a half pound, like it just
That's like,
has that ever happened where
Oh,
you're like,
yeah. I've
where you're
won
like,
tournaments.
what?
I've not finished in the money by like
0.01. Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. Like really?
Yeah.
I mean, another, not even
Yeah.
quarter of an ounce. I would have
He
won.
could-
But have you ever done a tournament though?
If
That,
I
like,
wouldn't have farted, I
Yeah.
would have won.
but have you ever done a tournament though where it's like somebody comes in a half pound though? You're like, what is that from here? Because that's something that Crow Classic we do have to watch.
Well,
It's the
typically,
eye
no,
color.
I mean, you won't have a half pound be weighed in because, I mean, we
Lowest
have
I've had is
size limits.
0.73.
Yeah, I mean, size limits, typically it's
12
some
inch.
clubs are 11
11.
inches, some are 12, some are 14. So, I mean, typically you're going to be in that a poor fish down here, 3/4 pound, you know, maybe a half pound every now and then. You'll
0.73
see
is
in
the lowest I've had in
but
a tournament.
What do you do when you see a fish with the clouded eye?
What do you mean clouded?
So,
if it's dead.
No,
it's a
I mean,
half-pound
but
penalty.
they're freezing the shit. Like they're catching it somewhere else.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's-
No, we've caught a lot of croaker. We've caught a lot of like you look at the fish and you're like,
That fish
Well,
was
that's
broke
that's part of why we do a live weigh in. So you get every tournament you weigh 5 fish in, and they have to be alive.
Yeah.
If they're dead, you get a penalty for that, and it's really an honor system. I mean, nobody's doing that.
No, not necessarily. In ABA teams, we'll do a lie detector test. I mean, we don't.
no, we
hold
do.
back,
We also
so-
do a lot of texture too.
Yeah, not always,
Some
but,
do, but I mean,
I got
it's-
a contact for you for lie detector test. That's going to be way cheaper than what you're paying.
I just don't like. I don't like
Lance M. Finger.
just because
It
I'm
is-
not
I will
in this
say
fishing
for,
though.
For like the Casey tournament, it is an honor system. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
coming out here for a benefit tournament and you're going to cheat to win, you're not fishing that thing for the right reason.
That's right.
I mean, we want you to be successful. We want you to win. But if you've got to go out there and cheat,
But the way it expands, it's going to be that way.
There's going to be.
I'm telling you
some
right now,
cheaters.
that's one of the things that we've been dealing with in the last couple of years with Crow Classic is that. It's like, it's sad for us. It's like, come on, man.
it is.
Like, come on.
We
There-
have
there's
and we
gonna be
have
some
we have a
cheaters.
weighmaster, and
Yeah.
that weighmaster is designated to make those decisions. And the weighmaster's final decision, if the weighmaster says, "Man, this
That's it.
fish is got a red tint to it. This does not look like any of the 200 other fish that have been weighed in. I don't feel like this came from here." He would discuss it with the tournament director, and it's up to him and his discretion. If he says, "I'm not going to weigh this fish,"
That's
everybody,
the rule.
that's in the rules.
Yep, that's it.
We
There's
abide
no
by
question
that.
about
And
it.
if you're disqualified, argue, be mad all you want, but it's up to the weighmaster.
Yeah.
So that's the
Make that
fishermen I
decision.
don't like. The,
So-
the competitive fishermen, like the ones that competitive to anything to win the trophy. They'll do what anything it takes.
We don't have very many of those.
We not.
We
seen
have-
that down here.
There is a couple on the coast that are that way. A couple,
You know,
but I know who they are,
and not only that though, but
they
if
better
you-
not show up for an ABA because
if
I'll
you-
turn them away.
Well, that's the thing. If you get caught up in a situation like that, and it could be just a local 10-boat club tournament,
Most
and
guys
something
are
like that
honest.
happens,
Yeah.
it's a tight knit group. The word's going to get out,
We
and
know.
you're not going to be fishing.
have you already caught any
That's
weights? Like any weights in the mouth?
No,
like,
no.
like-
No. I will say this: I have weighed a bunch of tournaments. I have done a ton of tournaments. There's only one tournament I can ever think of where I was a little questionable, and that's because all the fish were dead. Every fish was dead, and I was like, something's not right there, And they were all big, and they were all dead. That's the only one I ever had an issue. Other than that, these guys are honest. I mean, they're not.
It's an like I said, it's an. I
for
guarantee
them.
you,
No, they're
if 100
competing against themselves.
November 2nd,
Yeah.
if 100 people show up to fish, Joel and I and probably 90% of the people are going to know 95 of those people.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to
We're a
know
tight-knit
somebody.
group.
It's
Yeah.
it's not going to be like, okay, who's this guy? And he comes in and he weighs 18 pounds in. We're going to raise a few eyebrows like, where'd he come from? Who is he?
Yeah,
Who knows about him? I mean,
yeah.
18 pounds when second place had 12. It's
And I
it's
don't
not
even-
that serious. In
Right.
other words, we do this for fun. We do this, like I said earlier. We're old. We're out of shape. We want to do
Speak
something
for
to
yourself,
compete.
buddy. I am freaking in
You
my
see this
prime.
guy right here? I've been working on this
I'm
right
in-
here.
We
Look at
want
this.
to. We want to do something to still be able to
I'm
compete
looking
and
at
have a
that
good
right there, and
time.
the camera adds 50 pounds. I'm just 50 pounds.
I just know though
I only
with what
weigh,
we
like-
went through with the croaker, and this is like it's been through like a lot of like that kind of stuff that was kind of like bothering of like tournament chase, like where it's like, come on, like you got something going on, like
We don't have that. I don't
And then
there's
that's-
not
that-
very
if
much
the-
of that.
yeah, well that's different from like our side where it kind of hurts my feelings because I'm not in the game. So you see these people that get really angry, and you're like, come on, dude.
It's not that serious with us. It's like I said, club tournaments and
Sure.
stuff. They know
So
who you're fishing
we're out,
with.
ice?
No, it's- Sorry, buddy.
they fish
We're
with them.
talking. It's the high charge.
It's all good.
They fish with them month in, month out. You know the same guys. You don't have random people showing up. And then these tournaments like the Casey Seal, it's a benefit. So I mean, it's not that serious that somebody's going to do that. I mean,
If it is, then they're in it for the wrong reason because
Yep.
that's not what this is all about.
Do y'all? I mean,
Hey,
would
big
you
shout out to Jordan
for what?
for bringing the. So
Oh,
I love
Granddad.
bourbon. I don't drink a ton of bourbon. I don't. But this is a really good bourbon. Old Granddad.
Oh, so guys, I drink a lot of bourbon. If you tune into my show, I'm always drinking bourbon, and
I know.
so I enjoy drinking bourbon. And it's
I enjoy it, but I just don't drink.
thank
bourbon.
you.
check out High Proof Wine and Liquor if you want to get some
High-proof
bourbon.
Wine and liquor. But I'll definitely check it out. Y'all probably didn't hear a word I said there, though.
No, I heard it. I heard it.
Okay, all right.
No, I think the situation, as I tell you all the time, is like, me and my stepdad, which is not here today, he's been burnt out because he's been writing bills, which is a fascinating person in my life.
Wait,
This-
what do you mean, right? What?
Like he writes bills for right now he's doing a bill for DMR for the oyster farms. He writes the bills
I need to talk to him. I got a bill.
you can talk. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
no, but like this table, he's 78. This table he made when he was 18. This table is 6 years old. This is this is awesome. The reason Girl Scouts don't have to pay sales tax is him. The casinos, he wrote the bill on that, and the aquarium, he got the first $10 million for the aquarium. So my stepdad is very laser sharp, but he's that person. Like he built this wall. He every idea, every dream, because he knows I follow through. That's something he always tells me. He's like, you always follow through, son. And I mean, my stepdad's put in the work. And honestly, today we're pushing out the end of the month. So he's like, he's going to be here, but he's like, I'm just kind of tired. He is 78 and he's a boss, but he's like, I want to sleep a little bit because he works. When I see him work, I feel like I can't do anything because he works like 14 hours straight on a computer and typewriter.
Yeah.
And you think you're like, I'm tired. You're like, look at him. You're like,
Makes you look bad.
oh, dude, he makes me look like I'm a bitch.
What's his name?
Scott Levenway.
Yeah.
I'm ride or die. But I'm very influenced by, he always tells me like people like y'all, like this is something like he taught me. He's a big educator in my life when it comes to caring. I see that like, fuck, we're here. Sorry for my language, but I mean, it's not for kids, but that's cool. Like, that's cool, dude. That's like,
He's right here with us.
yeah.
And I've never met the guy. I guarantee you,
Oh, dude,
we'd have got
I love
along
it.
great.
I love it.
We'd have if he was here, I know
He's
we'd have a
a guy
blast.
like-
Okay,
we'd have got along great.
And I've got so many stories that, like, just your buddy, your best friends, you do in these text messages and pictures and this, that, and the other.
But
You send back and forth that just I'll never tell anybody because that's our stuff. you
That's
know?
your-
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just we know about it each other, and I'm gonna take that to my grave as my memories of him.
Yeah.
I want to share his life. With
If he was right now
everybody.
as a full character, though, would he be hugging us and laughing and cutting
Oh,
up?
dude, it'd be like let's shotgun a beer on.
Yeah,
you know, he's
yeah.
gonna do it, and
we need to catch up
Just-
here on our reading, by the way.
no,
You
it's just
scroll up
it's all.
I'm
my
dyslexic.
life.
I can't really read that well.
She
So,
put-
man, I
put-
mean,
and all the
She plugged Ronnie Flowers. She plugged
sponsors.
Bass Pro Fishing Gear, Bass Tactics.
Bass Tactics.
Bass Tactics. Richard Parker. Look, I know this ain't nothing to do with the Casey Seal tournament, but I met Richard Parker. I don't know, probably about 2 years ago. Called him up. I had a friend that I worked with. She wanted her son to get into Bass Tactics, and I called Richard. I'm fishing the ABA National Championship on Lake Eufaula when he calls me back. 2.5 hours later, on the phone with Richard Parker, ran my phone.
Oh yeah.
Richard, you talk too much, brother. I'm just gonna say that right now. But after talking to him for 2.5 hours, I feel like I know him really well. I've talked to him several times since, and he's a guy that always pushes kids.
He's a great
I mean,
kid.
he's
My son.
not only that though. Yeah. The guy's a big time Christian, and so he's told me a story about Monticello. And he was talking about how those kids went out there and they fished their hearts out in the national championship or whatever it was. And it was the Bassmaster College National Championship. He said, I want to tell you what they were doing the night before the tournament started. And I'm, just cutting up with him or whatever. And he's like, dude, the night before the tournament, they're washing each other's feet. Like they're out there washing each other's feet because they believe so much in their faith. And I bring that up because that's the kind of people that are in the bass fishing world around here. Right here on the coast, Richard Parker and Martin Herring. Martin Herring runs the Bass Nation high school tournaments. Mm-hmm. Very good guy, extremely good. He's always plugged in. He always wants to help these kids and all. And going back to what Jesse said earlier, he was talking about how we all come together to help out. We just do. I mean, we just do. And if we are scheduled on another event, we had last weekend, was it last weekend? The weekend before, we had benefit tournament for Jeff Moranis over on Little River Marina. Shout out to them, by the way, for hosting that great tournament over there. And
their place has come a long ways too. They've done a lot of great work there. If y'all ever want to host a tournament there, shout out to them.
I agree 100%. I typically host at Indian Point, just because I know those people. They've been great to me. But I have no problem hosting over there either. I just haven't. I need to. I will. Moss Point too, for that matter. Moss Point is really good at it, right there at Escadaba. But anyways, I bring that up to say that we have people in the neighborhood, in the community, that are honest. They're worried about kids. They want kids to grow in the sport of bass fishing, and that's where people like American Bait Works, BBB Outdoors, See the Swamp, Wicked Fish, Triple B Outdoors, which is coming. Those types of people support and help because we're helping kids and we're helping stuff like KCC.
They know what we're doing. This isn't about.
It's not about us.
It's about usually a cause. It's about the kids. It's greater than us. It's a great community. The bass fishing community is a great community down here on the Gulf Coast. It flies under the radar, like I said earlier. It flies under the radar with all the saltwater fishing and the Gulf Coast being right here. But it is a huge community and very tight knit community. Richard is a great guy. He helps tremendously with the kids. And my son was on the high school team for Stone County, and we traveled. It gave an opportunity for my son to go see a lot of lakes and places throughout the state and Alabama.
Whole nother world of fishing.
You'll never see, just sitting around here fishing. It opens up doors for these kids for opportunities and experiences. It's amazing. And Martin with the BASS, the high school stuff down here, he's
phenomenal.
They have a local trail, and that's awesome too. I got a buddy at work that his son's fishing that with Van Cleve, and it's a great organization. And matter of fact, last year Martin reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I want to donate from our organization. I don't remember if it was $100, $200, whatever it was." He said, "to the highest finishing youth member y'all have in the tournament."
That's
so there was a kid that was like 16 years old fishing with his grandpa, and they finished like, I don't even know if they finished top 10.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Richard.
That kid went out there and fished all day with his grandpa and got $200 or whatever it was that was donated by them. I mean, that's the kind of stuff the bass fishing community does for each other down here. It's a different group of people. It's amazing.
It really is. It's a different. Saltwater is great. Love saltwater fishing, and that's a whole nother.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
All I can say is come experience it, man. Come experience
Look, Ronnie Daniels, for example. Do you know Ronnie Daniels?
You said Troy Daniels' dad?
Huh?
Ronnie Daniels?
Yeah.
Was he married to Jamie King?
Yeah.
Captain Ronnie?
I ain't trying to bring all that up.
No, but is that Captain Ronnie? I know Ronnie. I don't know him well, but I know that John Carter.
Is somebody I consider a very good friend of mine. He's helped me out and supported me and sponsored me, and he's that guy. He's that guy you can call at the middle of the night and be like, "Hey, man, I'm having these things going on." He's gonna support you. He's gonna be there. He's that type of guy. But those type of people that are in the saltwater community, we have those in the freshwater community too. They're the same type of people. It's just we don't get noticed because we're on the Gulf Coast and it's a saltwater environment.
We're a huge group.
We're
a smaller group compared to the saltwater.
Did you know that bass fishing in general is a $3 billion industry?
No, absolutely.
$3 billion. It grew from COVID. It went from like not even $1 billion to a $3 billion industry. I know this because I just went to school and got my degree and I did a thesis on it.
No, she's.
No, it is.
It's better not tell her how much I've contributed to that.
Yeah. Jesse has contributed a lot.
So finishing out, we're at 2 hours.
Are we?
Yep.
Wow. How many viewers we got?
2, 1. Doesn't it really doesn't matter?
I don't care.
I've enjoyed it. I'm
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Yeah, I don't care.
no. You send it out in the world. You want the true listeners in the world.
Yep.
The ones that say, I'll watch your I get all the time too. Like, I'll watch your podcast. I'm like, oh, what episode?
Yeah, they don't know.
Well,
I did watch. I did watch the Little Mermaid. I call her the Little Mermaid. I think that's funny.
But
She killed it, man.
Fairby, she's
And when
been
you
struggling.
got on the couch with the Little Mermaid outfit. Oh, dude, I literally probably peed a little bit.
I think the thing is I'm but I'm very blessed. I have my Emily, I have my son, I have my family, I have my nonprofit. I live my own world. Whether you want to join me or not is up to you. But this podcast will always be what it is, and you're going to come to find out that there are real So the thing is, we're like, oh, we'll need this many. We hit heavy numbers last month, but I'll tell you right now, I'm cool with 50 people tuning in because that's 50 people that can.
Quality.
You're not in it for the numbers. You're in it for
Hell
the
no.
content.
Right.
You're in it
No.
for the content.
Yeah. I want people to hear these stories.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised here.
Yeah.
I don't I'm learning about bass fishing because I'm in it right now because this is exciting because y'all are y'all really nerding off. You're talking about whoppers and I'm like, damn, dude, I love a double whopper. Got some bacon. I mean, ghost pepper, little ghost pepper.
Plopper, plopper, buddy.
I mean, but I also like fast food.
Yeah.
I am that guy that likes fast food.
Well, look, when you take him fishing,
You're going, buddy.
All right. Well, his lure that he's going to have tied on,
Whopper,
first one he
plopper.
casts, is gonna be
Whopper, plopper. Yeah. We do need to plan a trip, Jordan. I promise you. I want to take your son fishing. I want to get some live shrimp. It's really important. If you're going to go fishing with a kid, if you really want that kid to enjoy themselves and have a good time, you need to get live bait. You need to go out there. You need to go to a farm pond that's got a ton of fish in it. Get them hooked.
I always say start them bluegill fishing, brim fishing.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Get you a cricket and a cork.
They're
and take
easy
them
to
out there.
catch.
They-
My grandparents, we used to just have worms. We had we pull out and put them in and sold them to you.
Yeah,
Worms-
that's it.
worms-
Worms.
I've been
crickets,
there.
Take them out there. Just get
But
them,
I want to
get
finish
the-
this off with his photo,
Yeah.
Jesse, because I know how much you love him. Bring that photo up to the camera.
Go ahead, buddy.
This is massive to you.
This is like I said, this is the win he
Look
took.
at the
I think this was his second or third tournament.
Yeah, that's
His
good.
win at Pickwick Lake with the BFLs. 18 pounds, 11 ounces he had. That's pretty impressive, especially co-angler. Let's see if we can get this
Hey,
on there.
a little up, little up, little up.
Oh, it's got a little delay on it.
You get back up a
Which
little
way?
bit.
There, right
you
there.
go, Right. Oh, turn it.
Left or right?
Right there.
Whee!
Just keep it there.
This is Casey messing with me. See?
Casey,
Happy birthday, Mr.
Right,
Doug.
Right, left.
Happy birthday, Mr. Doug. And all the information will be tagged in. Love you guys.